Kick, bomb, you remember. Chop, chop, back again, yes, forever. You have many challenges coming at ya. Pass to the fire, don't retire now, pick.
So what are we going to talk about aside from PS4 and Xbox? We got something, right? Because I honestly haven't looked at... I've looked at almost no E3 stuff aside from that. I know that Peggle 2 is a thing.
Wii Fit Trainers, Super Smash Bros., whatever they're going to call it.
Yeah, Super Smash Bros. Wii U, which looks a lot like Brawl.
Brawl was fun.
It was fun.
It may not be Melee, but it was good.
Yeah, I mean, I think this has the potential to be good. Pat was talking shit on because,
2.0.
well, it looks like when they get hit, it's clearly just ruining the game.
It's still slow. It's slow like Brawl, man.
No, it's faster than Brawl, I can tell from the trailer. It was like at least 3 times faster.
3 times faster. Got some scientific data to back that one up. Huh?
I do, I've done math.
Yeah, bullshit.
Uh-huh.
You don't even know what math is.
It's the one with the letters. I know. But they got Mega Man in Smash Bros.
That's pretty cool.
It's good that he's getting some work.
Did you see the gameplay for him? It's kind of neat.
Yeah,
he doesn't really have punches and stuff. He just shoots bullets.
Well, he does do a
couple.
Shoryuken, actually. I'm sure he's probably going to have a slide kick.
He does.
The animations and sound effects for him are all really awesome.
Oh, yeah, he has the stiff movement like in games. It's so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to see Mega Man get love. I've been reading the Mega Man Archie comics and the Sonic and Mega Man crossover comics because I'm 12 years old. And they're cool, but it just has a video game character. Maybe you should get a game now and then.
As an aside, did you know they're going to try and make an Archie live-action movie?
Wait, like Archie himself? Like Archie and Jughead?
Yeah.
When was the last time anybody read those?
I'm surprised that hasn't been done before.
I mean, I guess so. I mean, they used to be a lot more popular, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I could envision them making an Archie movie like in the style of the Smurfs movies, the recent Smurfs movies.
Or like Scooby-Doo. Oh,
yeah.
No.
With CG characters. Archie and his gang are CG, but everybody else is a regular human.
That'd be so fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's, I think the last time Archie Comics was mentioned in, like, pop culture was in a Simpsons joke 10 years ago.
Yeah, I can't imagine anyone's really clamoring for that movie.
Yeah.
There's one guy out there. He's really fucking excited.
All right, so
he also owns Archie Comics.
So I have a Smash question.
Ooh.
I remember a long time ago, I remember Nintendo talking about the idea of there being like cross-platform play on 3DS and Wii U.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing that's probably not a thing now because the 3DS version and the Wii U version have different levels, for one thing, different art style, all of this stuff going on.
Yeah.
So I guess that's not a thing anymore, is it?
Probably not. I haven't heard anything on it, but I really doubt it.
Because I thought that would be really cool if they could pull that off.
It
but
would be.
apparently not.
With the different levels and stuff, I imagine that's not the case, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I doubt there won't be cross-platform play. You might get some bonuses or something for having both games.
Here's an extra hat.
Yeah.
For Mega Man.
I actually like the art style of the 3DS version better. I just am a particular fan of that kind of art style with the black outlines and that sort of thing, because that's kind of how I draw too, but,
Yeah, no, it looks really good.
Pretty cool. Maybe the 3DS one will end up better than the Wii U one. I would actually like it a lot if they made them different games. Like, they didn't have the same physics or speed or all of that. It'd be cool if they were just legitimately different games. But that probably won't happen either.
Yeah, one could be Melee 2.0, the other could be Brawl 2.0.
Yeah, but with our luck, the 3DS one would be Melee 2.0.
It's fine. It's a system that is less expensive.
I actually have a 3DS,
Man,
so I could use it.
That's true. I would buy a 3DS, but I would break it when I got mad at the game. GameCube controllers are tough. You don't break them.
I liked that the 3DS version is going to have like more handheld themed levels too. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
I don't remember everything they showed. I think they showed a Phantom Hourglass or Spirit Tracks, I think, level.
Yeah, there was like a Nintendogs level.
Yeah, Nintendogs level.
Yeah, they seem to be putting some effort into it. It doesn't really seem like it's some half-assed port or anything.
No, I don't think they would do that.
As long as those 3 characters they announced aren't the only 3 new characters, it won't be a half-assed port.
It's actually free to play. Getting the full game costs $500.
Yes.
Still a better purchase than Xbox One.
Which, talking about DLC kind of like that, I think I was reading about Killer Instinct, to where like you could get the game for free and have like one character to choose from or something like that, and then you could pay for the characters that you wanted to play as, or you could just buy the game like normal.
That's pretty cool.
Which is kind of a weird
They could
strategy,
make it
I guess.
kind of like iTunes, where each character is $5 a piece, but there's 20 characters. But instead of paying $100 to get the whole game character by character, once you buy $60 worth, they just give you the whole thing. Like, if you've ever bought individual songs in an iTunes album, that's about how it works.
Oh, nice.
People still use iTunes, right?
That's kind of like the Capcom arcade cabinet, where they were releasing like games individually or like packs of games, and altogether it was going to cost like $60 or something like that. But then they released like the full collection after all the games were out, and that's only like $30. So people who waited are getting a deal on that, which I haven't bought any of that. That's right up my alley, but maybe someday.
Yeah. I don't know.
And Dead Rising 3 is coming out.
Yeah, Dead Rising 3 is coming out. And when I was watching, I was just like, all right, yeah, Dead Rising's always entertaining. They always bring the funny. It didn't bring any funny. It was really fucking boring.
Yeah, I didn't watch anything about it. I can't believe it's not funny.
No, yeah, it takes itself very seriously.
That's sad.
In a way, it looks like a better Raccoon City simulator than Operation Raccoon City was. But it was really bland. The main character is really bland. It doesn't look special at all.
That's unfortunate.
Saw this pretty funny image online about 16 different. Actually, Brian, you commented on it on the old Facebooks. It was like portraits of 12 or 16 different modern video game heroes.
Oh yeah,
all white males with dark brown hair and facial hair.
Uh-huh.
The Castlevania guy, the XCOM, the Bureau guy.
Yeah. Two of them had hats, so I mean that sets them aside from
Yes.
the others. But
They're clearly classier than the others.
yes,
Yeah, they all have the same broad chin and facial features.
one guy had a scar, so I mean that represents diversity, right?
Yes.
Although I do like how we're commenting on, like darker hair with beards and looking around the room right here. It's
4 white guys with beards and darker hair,
clearly something of our demographic.
Well, we're clearly already oversaturated, so.
Yeah, no denying that.
Yeah.
So, well, while we're talking about that, there's, female character in Mirror's Edge, which they're rebooting the franchise that only had one game in.
No, man.
What's the deal with that, Dunk?
Again,
Is it
I didn't hear anything about it.
is it a reboot or a prequel?
I've been reading it's supposed to be a reboot of the franchise.
Why did you reboot it?
That's exactly what I
There
was
was
asking.
one game.
Yeah.
It might be because nobody bought the first one.
First one was fantastic.
It was a good game. I bought it. I bought it day one. I beat it, and I was all like, yay.
I
But
think. Oh, good.
the one mistake I made with it was, I remember when it first came out, people were making a big fuss about the not using guns achievement.
Yeah.
And then after the fact, the developers were all, no, we're sorry we said that. We're sorry we did that. You're supposed to shoot people in this game. It makes it better. Because the most frustrating parts of that game were the enemies. Like, they didn't even need to be there.
Yeah.
And you get towards the end, I eventually just caved and started using the sniper rifle, had a better time.
Yeah. I played it using guns. My brother played it not using guns, and I think I had a lot easier time with it than he did.
You probably speak better on the game than he does, too.
No, he loved it.
Oh,
He
yeah?
was excited. But he also is a bit of an achievement whore, so.
Yeah. Oh, I also another mistake. I don't know why I played the game this way. I turned off the colored markers, like where to go too. I know, right? What the fuck was I thinking? Anyway, I still like the game, so I'm happy there's a sequel.
Mhm.
I played it the worst possible way, and I still enjoyed it.
I mean, considering how long ago it came out, I was sort of afraid they just canned it for indefinitely.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy Versus 13.
Well, didn't they finally just sort of can that?
Yeah, it's Final Fantasy Versus 15 now. Is that what they're calling it, or
It's
they
just
just call
15.
it?
Yeah.
Just Final
Okay.
Fantasy.
It's
Which, Jesus Christ.
I know.
15.
Square Enix
15.
fucking baffles me. They announced Kingdom Hearts 13, which is a game they should have announced in 2006,
Kingdom Hearts
and
3.
Kingdom Hearts 3, no 13. Wow, but still, it is probably the 13th Kingdom Hearts game. And
That's
they
getting to the
that
point.
could be.
they re-announced Final Fantasy 13 Versus which is a game they did actually announce in 2006. This is all stuff that was announced before the PS3 came out, so it blows me away.
All right, so wait, what is Final Fantasy versus 13?
Initially, they just showed a CG trailer for it in 2006, which, for Square Enix fans back then, that's all you needed to do to make them want to play the game they didn't see. But yeah, it was when they eventually showed gameplay, it looked like Final Fantasy, darker stuff, I guess, mixed with Kingdom Hearts style action RPG gameplay. And that, yeah, they only ever showed like a few fight scenes, and even that was a few years after they announced it. They never really said anything about it.
Why is it versus? Is it a fighting game?
Nope. Nope.
All right. That answers all of my questions about the game, then.
Why is the new Parasite Eve game called Third Birthday? Why is it Final Fantasy Dissidia? I don't think they...
their naming system's just...
Yeah, I don't think they understand
Fucking
any
bonkers.
language, native or otherwise. Oh, you're listening to MOSTcast, by the way. Hi, everybody. I'm Justin Dombach.
Hey, I'm Pat Kennedy.
Hi, I'm Brian Rhodes.
I'm Ben Martin. This is
Yeah,
MOSTcast.
we got that out of the way. I have a feeling we're going to be really all over the place with this one. We've already
it's
jumped
gonna be
from
fun.
Smash Bros. To Archie Comics, all the way to Final Fantasy Versus 13. So
I was going to mention, I think with the Mirror's Edge reboot and like announcing, I guess, 15, like this is definitely the best time they could have done something like this. Nobody would have given a shit if these new systems had been out for a couple of years already, and they're like, "Hey, we're bringing back Mirror's Edge." Like,
yeah,
it's exciting now, just because you get to see it on a new platform.
exactly. The context helps them a lot. I would argue that it's too late for Square Enix. I think they've lost half of their old fan base. I think they're irrelevant now. But for Mirror's Edge, yeah, really good timing.
Yeah.
Maybe
it'll
they'll
do
announce
well.
Beyond Good and Evil 2 again.
Yeah.
It's on hiatus.
Yeah. Did anybody here ever play Beyond Good and Evil?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
After I finally tracked it down.
I own it.
Yeah, okay.
It's not backwards compatible.
Yeah, back in the GameCube era, I always used to go into EB Games and GameStop and try to find it, but
Yeah.
had it for the PS2 or the Xbox. Like, never had it for the GameCube. And finally, one day,
Yeah, I remember looking for the GameCube version a lot, too. I think I settled for PS2.
yeah, I didn't have it PS2, so when I finally found it, I played it, and it was fantastic, so... I was pretty excited when they announced the second one, but I forgot that they even did.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it just kind of got brushed under the rug
Yeah.
along with, oh, what's the other game they keep doing that with? There's too many. I'm just not even going to try to remember it. So many games get announced and then just quietly forgotten after a few years.
Yeah.
Duke Nukem made a career out of it.
Ugh.
Yeah, no kidding. Let's not go there. I'm just glad they didn't announce Duke Nukem Forever 2 this year.
Oh, it's probably coming.
So what?
It's probably coming.
Yeah, probably. Oh, that could be the tagline.
It's probably coming.
Oh, it works on so many levels. All right, so just off the top of your heads, what do you guys think, before we go into another tangent about stuff, what do you think made you the most excited from this E3? And let's not talk about the consoles themselves, because we're going to get pretty deep into that, I'm sure.
So we're talking about games or something particular about
I guess
the console?
games, or if the Wii U itself somehow made you excited. But the real consoles we're not going to talk about yet.
Ouch.
Oh, man.
Start with you, Ben.
Yeah.
Put you on the spot.
Just because we're all looking at you.
If I can go into one specific aspect of the PS4, just not in general,
Okay, we'll go
one
with that.
specific aspect.
Yeah.
When Sony announced that they would allow indies to self-publish on the PS4,
Yes.
that was nice. With
That is
any
really
luck, it'll
good.
be more like Steam than Microsoft's indie games.
Which
as far
may
as-
as well not exist anymore.
Yeah, which, as far as I know, won't exist anymore.
Oh.
So, yeah, that was something I was excited about, because after Microsoft came out and basically said, yeah, indies can't self-publish, to have Sony come out and say, hey, you can on our system, it made me excited.
I think that's Sony's new business strategy. Okay, well, here's a checklist of things Microsoft said. Well, fuck you. And here's Sony. Open arms, guys. We will. Why not?
Yeah.
What do you think, Brian? What's on your mind about it?
Let's see. Really, the only things that stood out to me were, well, the Nintendo franchises, just because I'm kind of a Nintendo fanboy. I'm not going to buy a Wii U anytime soon, but now there are like maybe 4 games for the Wii U that I do want to play. So they're getting there. They're getting to that point where I might have to buy one someday. They're not there yet, but they're getting there. And then, but really, other than that, really the only thing that got me really excited was Metal Gear Solid 5, as far as the games go.
Yeah.
It looked really good. I don't know. Seemed like it would be a good time. I'm probably not going to buy any new consoles anytime soon, though, so I'm not going to play it anytime soon.
Yeah.
I haven't played 4 yet either, so.
4 disappointed me. I don't know. After 4, I was at a position where I was like, I probably won't get excited for a Metal Gear game ever again.
That's kind of where I was at, too.
Yeah.
But
5, I like what I saw of 5. I'm
Yeah.
with you. Like, it seems like they really are taking it forward.
yeah, it just, it struck me for some particular reason.
Yeah.
I don't know, you might need to come back to me. I need to think some more on this.
We can do that.
I was
What's going on
disappointed that Nintendo did not announce a Metroid game.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I was disappointed in that, too.
Yeah.
I was hoping
Why?
that the retro game that was unannounced was going to be a Metroid game, and it
And not
wasn't.
another Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
entry.
Which I'm a DKC fan too, but
You know, it'll be.
I'm
good,
a bigger
but-
Metroid fan for sure.
Yeah. Retro Studios is so talented. I feel like they are wasted doing revival platformers.
Yeah.
I don't know, Metroid Prime was
They
such
can
a
innovate.
forward, yeah, such an innovative, forward-thinking
Mhm.
game, and now they don't get to do that anymore. They just got to do that one time, and they nailed it, and now it's just sequels and sequels.
Yeah.
Pat.
What you
was I
got?
excited about? I think I was just mostly excited about the reaction to everything. I wanted to see what people would think when, Sony announced all their stuff, and it was what I expected. Like
was a little
Sony, people went crazy just because Sony didn't fuck it up. Like they didn't do a damn thing special, but people got excited because Microsoft just fucked themselves so hard with everything they did, and so
Which I think in a way that makes it special. I mean, when something is trending so hard in a certain direction, just put a full stop on it and embracing the indie stuff too. I think it counts as doing something, even though they aren't changing it.
yeah. I mean, I think people definitely got really excited about not a lot, but that's how I expected people to react, though. So it was exciting to kind of see how that played out.
Imagine if, we'll get into this next, I guess. I guess I should say what I'm excited about.
Don't get me wrong, I'm glad to see Sony doing that. But
Yeah.
at the same time,
Imagine.
you know what I mean. So, but anyway, Dunk, what was the moment for you?
I don't know. God damn it.
You went last, man. You had all
I know,
this
I've had
time.
all this time to think. I'm going to cheat a little bit. It's a game I saw before E3, and I haven't actually seen any new footage of it since E3 started, but it was like only a week before. Sonic Lost World looks really, really good. Just
I'm with
surprisingly.
you. I'm with you.
Yeah. Have you,
I
Ryan?
don't even think
have
I've
you
seen it, no.
I haven't seen any footage, no.
The only news I saw of it was on that IGN thing that you
Yeah.
linked me. Like nobody else is talking about it, which
And they
makes
probably
sense,
won't.
But
I mean, they tried their best to make this character irrelevant, so, they succeeded. This is them reaping that reward.
Nice.
But imagine if Sonic just ripped the fuck off of some Mario Galaxy.
All right, I can do
I
that.
think you mentioned that now.
yeah. Like the first level they showed, it's this
it's Mario.
kind of a cylinder style thing that you just, you're running straight like Sonic, of course, but you can run all 360 degrees around this as you go, so there's so many multiple paths along the way. It's a unique turn on mixing 2D and 3D together. And it also has some side-scrolling stuff.
And
But-
they have like the barrel down, the line kind of stages mixed in too. and
Yeah.
The parkour elements where you can run along
Yeah.
walls and trees and
Sonic
stuff
can,
just at will.
instead of just bumping into objects now and falling over, like actually happens in 3D Sonic games. You can just run into things and fall over. I never really realized it, but that felt really out of place because in 2D Sonic, that just doesn't happen. There would always be like curved walls that you would run up or spin around, loop-de-loop, stuff like that. So now, when Sonic is running, say you run straight into a tree. You don't fall on your ass, you just run up the tree, or you can run along a wall, stuff like that. It makes sense, and it keeps it from slowing down. What was the other thing? Oh, yeah. This is interesting. He doesn't run as fast as he used to, which will help the platforming, also make it feel a little more old school, but by default, Sonic walks now. Like, you have to hold a button to make him run.
Really?
So when you're running, the platformer stuff is a lot harder. So it'll help make it feel, again, more classic Mario platformer style.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty excited about that. But as far as something I actually saw at E3, I don't know. I felt like I haven't had a chance to just sit down and watch a bunch of trailers. I mean, Watch Dogs, I was kind of iffy at first, but it keeps impressing me the more I see it. Like, I want to play it the more I see how you can mess around with the world, especially after seeing just how it's going to look on PS4. Pretty excited.
Yeah.
That's about what I got. You think of anything else, Brian?
No.
Okay, so Metal Gear Solid 5 for you.
So I guess we can just... oh, go ahead.
I can kind of piggyback on what Pat said just about seeing the reactions.
That's always the most fun for me, too.
Yeah, and it was nice. It was kind of refreshing to see Sony not just do everything that Microsoft was doing.
Exactly.
Not just rehash all of that. They're actually going in a different direction, so it'll be curious to see what comes of that.
It looks like the new upcoming consoles are going to be different from each other.
Yeah,
Whereas 360 and PS3 are the same thing.
Yeah, that's kind of refreshing.
They're more technically similar than anything else. They have more similar game library than any other systems. I think we've all just gotten used to taking that for granted, but if you just look back at PS2 to Xbox, there are some huge differences there. But we've been stuck in this rut for about 7 years now. So hopefully that makes some better exclusive games, stuff that takes better advantage of individual system capabilities. Oh, no, I have a new best thing. I just remembered. And it pisses me off because it's on Xbox One, which I don't want to buy. Crimson Dragon. That's the game that disappeared that I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
It's a game they announced for Kinect on 360.
Mm-hmm.
Then it fell off the face of the earth. It's from the original producer of Panzer Dragoon. And it's looks to be a rail shooter based around the Kinect. They brought it back for Xbox One. It looks amazing. It's totally ripping off Panzer Dragoon aesthetics, everything from the dragons to the lasers. The sound dropped during the conference, so I didn't get to see if the sound was similar too, but...
and it controls with the controller now.
Does
right?
it?
Doesn't it?
I
thought that's what I had read instead of using the Kinect
It's
for
possible.
everything.
I watched the conferences, but I didn't read anything. So, but no, it looked really good. And, I don't know, it was the last thing I expected to see, so that took me by surprise. I would be more excited if it was on a system I have any interest in.
Yeah.
It's a real bummer.
I don't think any of us are interested in the Xbox One here, are we?
No.
Not at this point, no.
Not a lot of people are. That's the thing about Panzer Dragoon, though. It has a history of being on incredibly unpopular systems.
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft doesn't have that many exclusive franchises, and I don't care about Halo or Gears of War. So.
Yeah, they've really cashed out of exclusive franchises like the past few years. Like, they don't even... Aside from Halo, what do Microsoft themselves make anymore?
Forza.
Okay, that's true. And that's a very big one. So, Halo
Fable.
and Forza. Fable, ever since Molyneux left, I mean, man, it's been... They've made some spin-offs that are real bad.
Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah.
I guess they still have it.
They have it. Hopefully they could do something with it, but I don't have much faith.
Yeah.
Okay, so Halo, Forza, Fable.
Gears, and that's about it.
Yeah. Now, granted, all of those are vastly more popular than everything Sony has, except Uncharted, I guess. But I've always preferred the quality of Sony stuff, except Halo is really good. So we're gonna go all in with Xbox One versus PS4 now. we gonna tear that apart.
Might as well.
Okay.
It'll be a short fight.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Man, people listening probably know already. The 3 people that are gonna listen. It was just really cool seeing Sony tear apart all of these requirements Microsoft has been building up over the past month, or only just like the past 2 or 3 weeks. It wasn't really until the end of Sony's conference, but they just unloaded. They had the PowerPoint with, our system will use games. We believe in user freedom. Our system will not require online authentication. If you want to play a single-player game offline, you can do that. Then they talked a bit more about that, and that got so much applause on its own. And then about 5 minutes later, at the end of the conference, they dropped the $399 price tag, which is $100 cheaper than the Xbox One.
That's definitely huge.
Yes, especially. I mean, I think I mentioned this to you the other day. It's more powerful hardware, right? The PS4. What we're at least looking at the RAM. What was it like? 8 Xbox One. I think I've read is like 8 gigs of DDR3 RAM. 3 gigs of which is always dedicated to the operating systems. So gaming, you've got 5 gigs DDR3 RAM. PS3, I'm sure its OS is going to have some of the RAM eaten away, but It's DDR5, 8 gigs of RAM, as far as we know, dedicated to the gameplay.
Mhm.
And I mean, Sony's bigwig Jack Tredden sounded pretty confident about asking people to look at the difference between multi-platform games on Xbox One versus PS4.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see like how a superpowered game like Witcher 3 is going to look between the two.
And I'm really curious to see because you used to get those comparisons a lot during the PS3 and 360 era, where they would look at the very least not much different, or oftentimes better on the 360, because the 360 was reasonably easy to develop for and the PS3 wasn't. Now they're both using the same architecture, so I imagine it's going to, almost without that much effort, look a lot better on the PS3 if they want to have it look better. PS4, yes, my bad.
It's a new one.
It's the new one. My bad.
So that'll be cool. And I mean, if it really is a noticeable difference, there's another edge for Sony.
Yeah.
An edge that's not really talked about at the moment, but I think will be more talked about the more we see.
I'm curious to see how much they're losing per system, though, because $400 for all that seems really cheap.
Of money. They're going to lose so much money.
Yeah, I mean, I know the licensing and cut of each game is where you make your money, but $400 is really cheap.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of reasons why PS Plus is going to be required for online multiplayer now. That's one of them. They need that extra money real bad.
It's true.
Which I think is well worth it. I've already got PlayStation Plus. I got it for free, but I was going to re-up of my own will anyway because it's awesome.
Free games.
Yeah.
They
Good
give you
games,
free
too.
Demon Souls.
Uh-huh. So what do Pat and Brian, what do you guys see? Between PS4 and Xbox One, what stands out to you?
Just that, pretty much what you said. The price point's huge. I mean, and it also looked like the PS4 had a few more exclusives that were kind of different. Like you had that, what is it, Clank game or whatever that they showed off, which is kind of that cartoony style, which it's kind of suicidal to like almost come out with that style of game like nowadays, but Sony's doing it, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no camera bundled in with the PlayStation. I think that's a good move, so I don't think a lot of people care about it.
No.
I mean, we all knew the Kinect was going to get bundled with the new Xbox, but the fact that it's in there, raising the price $100, like...
And all the controversy over the potential of it listening to you.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff has come out lately about, governments stripping off stuff from your PC while you're using it. So, if the government demanded that they want to listen to your living room, Microsoft would have to oblige. So that's kind of creepy.
What do you think, Brian?
For me, the biggest issue was the supporting used games by Sony. And I've been reading lots of stuff on the internet, like legitimate arguments, not just, Xbox fanboys talking about how this, DRM and this sort of thing is the direction in which, the gaming industry is moving. But the difference for me is between Xbox One and PC is the price point, because you're still going to have $60 games on the Xbox, whereas, on PC I can get, sweet deals on games for $15 or less, basically. So there's absolutely no reason for me to ever get an Xbox One, especially considering that most of the games that are going to come out for Xbox One are going to be out for PC eventually too.
Absolutely.
Both because of the, connection with Microsoft and PCs, and just because everything is so cross-platform these days.
Yeah. With the Xbox One being such a closed marketplace, you're not going to see the kind of competition you do from Steam, where you have those crazy sales just because they're, different competitors trying to mark each other out.
Exactly.
On Xbox One, you're going to have 3-year-old games on their online service still going for $60. Just because they can. There's no reason to drop it. I don't know. I have trouble thinking of anything good to say about the Xbox One. What would we think of the Xbox One if it didn't have all this bullshit around it? If it didn't have the always online? If it didn't have the secondhand restrictions?
I'd be fine with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the system looks really cool. Like, as the box itself looks pretty neat. And, like, having the Kinect functionality in there is nice, especially if it's going to work better than the old Kinect did.
Yeah, hopefully it does work a lot better. They talked up the original Kinect pretty hardcore and didn't live up to it.
Yeah. So the controller looks nice. I mean, looks like it'd be a fine system, but I mean, the PlayStation just It's got more going for it. So I think I would still lean towards Sony in this, but
I gotta say, one problem I have with the used games for Microsoft is nowadays I have a Nintendo. If I want to, I can go to garage sales, look for used games, buy a game, go back and play it. It's 25, 27. It's like 25 years old at this point. I can still go back and play it. If I want to do that with Microsoft 25 years in the future, the Xbox One is just completely gone. I won't be able to play those games anymore because I won't be able to find them new.
Mm-hmm.
And that puts, as soon as you release it, that puts a shelf life on your system and your games. Once the next one comes out, basically the clock starts ticking. You may not be able to ever get those games anymore.
Another thing that just brought up with me is, since they said that the Xbox One's going to use a lot of like cloud processing to play the games, what happens in 10 years when you want to play a game? Are they going to still support that kind of stuff? Or is your just system going to be nothing? Like, how would that even work?
Nothing.
Oh, man.
Isn't that crazy to think about?
It looks pretty heavy. It's a doorstop. It's a good doorstop. It's a healthy doorstop. No, the cloud processing, I have no faith in.
No.
The server authentication, I have no faith in. Just 3 months ago, that SimCity bullshit went down.
Yep.
None of us should have any faith in online requirements.
And to be fair,
Zero.
there was something earlier with the Saboteur, also by EA, which was actually a really fun game. But 4 years into its life, EA just decided to cut the servers, and you just couldn't use your DLC anymore. Because,
Just because.
you had to do online anything with it. So,
Wow. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because it was probably using, 10 cycles a day in its CPU, and they had to cut it.
You do. They gotta save them dollars. See, more than anything else, Xbox One just seems like licensing out rather than feeling like you own something. I don't trust it. I don't feel like, any corporation's trying to get your money and trying to control you as much as you will let them. But the Xbox One just feels like they are being bold-faced, transparent about wanting to control your living room instead of add entertainment to it.
Yeah.
Like, they just want to control you and squeeze you into giving them more money and getting into more subscriptions. And, I just feel like buying an Xbox One, I would be appeasing Microsoft rather than doing something for myself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Next topic.
yeah, there's another topic. Oh, there's a...
about
the games? There were games?
There were games.
Where?
Where was E3 held?
France.
France. There was games in France. All they
Resident
showed
Evil
off
2.
was Beyond Two Souls.
They just showed off a lot of Rayman at the France E3.
Rayman, yeah. So I've kind of noticed a shift towards massive multiplayer stuff, basically.
Oh yeah,
this
a lot of companies
generation.
going to lose a lot of money. That's all I ever see connected to the MMOs, unless they're low budget free to play. Anything high end just collapses on itself. Only like 1 out of 10 have any luck.
These are kind of different, though. I mean,
I don't
you're going
think so.
to pay for the game, and it's not. Most of it seems like it has potential instead of just being like another WoW clone or something.
Yeah, they're doing some different stuff, I guess, or at least they're more of them are trying to be shooters than before.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everybody thought Old Republic was going to be the one that was different and couldn't fail and was going to succeed in the model, and even that can't. So
Free to play.
I don't know. They're all going super high end, and that seems to be what causes them to collapse.
Yeah.
Because I look at World of Warcraft, and I guess it was a pretty not a high end game, but a pretty big budget game in 2004. But I don't know. I think it just seems to be a game where they never overshot themselves, and that's part of why they didn't collapse. I don't know. That's a very uneducated way to explain it. But every time I see them talk about putting over $100 million into MMOs, it has a bad ending.
Yeah.
But it was just cool to see it on console now. You've got.
Yeah, I'm sure at least one of them will do well.
What's Destiny is going to be one.
Destiny looked cool.
I know you didn't see The Division, but that looked really cool. And it's just like a Tom Clancy MMO kind of style,
Yeah,
like
you're
talking about
RPG shooter thing.
Yeah.
And it looked crazy
That actually
good.
did look pretty cool.
That other Ubisoft driving game, what's it called?
Oh, I heard about it, but I didn't.
It's
don't
not the
remember name.
club, but it's something similar to that. The Crew, that's what it's called, I think. Something like that. But, I mean, it's just, the focus is just get online with a ton of people and drive around and have fun and all that. And that just seems like, I don't know why that's kind of shift is happening. Is it just because the systems are so much more powerful now, or is that just, hey, this is what people want kind of thing? Or is it both?
Partly that, and I also think, especially ones they can release free to play. I mean, that seems to be where so much of gaming is going now.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly on mobile, but it's transitioning bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So I imagine that's part of why. Was the Crew going to be free to play? I heard one of them was free to play.
I didn't
I
hear
haven't
about
heard.
any of them being free.
Okay.
But
Well,
I didn't read into it that deeply. But it's just kind of a neat shift.
yeah,
Those
I mean,
games look really good, so
I can imagine the Crew being pretty cool. I mean, just Need for Speed Most Wanted with 8 people online is a lot of fun. So if you add 64 more people, it'd be pretty awesome.
yeah, for sure.
On the bright side, they're not releasing MMOs that are reskinned World of Warcraft anymore. So.
Yeah,
Or at the
that's
very
true.
least, less so.
Took them like 6 years to learn that lesson.
Well, it's 2013
And, you know,
now, so
may-
let's say nothing.
Yeah. Maybe that was the problem. I don't know. It'd be cool if they succeed, I guess. I just prefer single player by nature, I guess.
I like both. I mean, I like single player games, but I do like having a big world where a bunch of other people are. It's just, in general, I don't like World of Warcraft, so the games that are like, hey, we're World of Warcraft, but set in the Star Wars universe, i.e. the Old Republic, it kind of sucked. I didn't like it.
I mean, I think the big thing with these other games that are coming out now, I mean, they are shooters and driving games and stuff, and so inherently, like, you think to yourself when you're playing an MMORPG, it's like, oh, I'm gonna go around and I'm just gonna kill shit and grind and level up, and like, then when I get high enough level, then I can do fun stuff. Like, this just seems fun in general. Like, you're shooting stuff where you're driving around, and then like, you're gonna have all those extra like level up sort of perks going on in the background. So it seems like these will be a bit more fun to play than your standard like grind-a-thon kind of type of game.
They might all suck, too. You never know.
Might,
Possibility.
you know?
They might be the worst things ever. So was there anything you guys really, really wanted to see at E3
Metroid.
that didn't happen?
Metroid.
For sure, yeah.
Metroid Dread on my 3DS.
Metroid Dread.
I've been waiting for it.
On
Damn
my
you,
Game Boy
Nintendo.
Advance. On my DS. On my 3DS.
Why, Nintendo?
You're not going to see it on your 4DS either.
I wanted to see the Wii U do better, but
Yeah,
Sure,
I was
yeah.
hoping for big things from that Nintendo Direct. Blows. I keep saying blows me away. I gotta think of something else. Really, really gets up my skirt that a PS4 is going to cost $50 more than a Wii U.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. I cannot believe that. I think I keep hearing that the Wii U basic model will be phased out and the deluxe will go down to $300. I don't think that's enough. I think they would see a really, really important boon if they went down to $250, like this summer or right before Christmas. I think they need that if they want to compete. Nintendo probably has more reasonable, slower-paced goals in mind, but it seems like they're handling this a lot like they did the GameCube, but it's starting off even worse than the GameCube did. GameCube was relevant for like 3.5 years, so it doesn't look good for Wii U.
yeah, people are already just not making games for the Wii U, and it's
Yeah, Electronic Arts is already out. I think it took useless companies like Acclaim like 2 or 3 years to come out of the GameCube, and then Electronic Arts was... Then again, that could have to do with how Electronic Arts is falling on kind of hard times this year,
Yeah.
so maybe they just don't want to waste any development time.
smart.
Gotta say, the Wii U would be looking a lot better had Sony come out and just said everything that Microsoft did.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
they didn't, so.
Imagine if Sony had done that.
Yeah.
It would be so bleak right now.
Yeah.
And that's why people are so excited, because I think everybody had that in mind. Well, Sony's just going to do the same thing. Well, gee, what am I going to do? Am I going to play on PC now? there's this incredible GIF taken from, I guess, the end of the movie 7 that I saw. It's talking about the Xbox One DRM stuff, and it's like Brad Pitt holding Kevin Spacey at gunpoint. God, I'll have to link this somewhere. I guess you guys haven't seen it.
I've seen
I
it.
think
You've
I
seen
might have.
Oh, it's so good.
It was good.
And when Morgan Freeman walks up and says, "You can still buy a Wii U," Brad Pitt starts crying. He just starts crying. I wanted to see Last Guardian announced for PS4. That would have been really cool.
Yeah.
Instead, I got to see a Panzer Dragoon successor on a system I'm not going to buy, which is kind of a little disheartening. Yeah, Last Guardian. Jack Tredden came out and said it is officially on hiatus. I mean, these days, you just don't really see a project with 120 people working on it put on hiatus with the hopes that all 120 people will come right back to it in a year or two.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty dead. It sucks. We got two good games. We got Eco and Shadow of the Colossus, so we got 2 good games out of that team there. Again, I still need to look up a lot of videos on generally E3 gaming. You guys got anything else?
Mario Kart 8 is kind of a ripoff of Sonic Transformed, which is really weird because the first Sonic racing game was totally a ripoff of Mario Kart.
What's it take from it?
Yeah, stuff like you'll go from driving to like flying and stuff like that.
Well, they did that in Mario Kart 7.
Did they?
Yeah, on 3DS. It didn't
Oh,
apparently didn't actually change the controls much. Like it didn't make much of a difference. So
Oh, never mind.
Transform did better in that respect because flying or being in the boat makes a big difference in that game.
Yeah.
Did anyone play Diddy Kong Racing?
Yeah, and that
'Cause
one
that was
you
a lot
could
of
fly.
fun.
Yeah.
I don't think you transformed in the middle of levels.
Yeah, it wasn't
was-
like you
was
picked
good.
a boat or you
Yeah.
picked a plane or a car.
It was fun.
Yeah, and
it's
Sonic
good.
you do it on the fly. And it's kind of like an incredible game.
It's a good game.
Well, let me ask you this.
Oh, okay.
Let me ask
Yes.
everybody this.
Save us.
So if you go after your E3 impressions, if you go in one direction after, based on everything that you saw, you can go Xbox One, PS4, Wii U, or PC. What are you going to do? Like, we'll say within the next calendar year, what's your plan for the future?
Well, I pre-ordered my PS4 yesterday.
All right, that settles
So,
it.
That's my plan.
I'm gonna play Justin's PlayStation.
Just like he plays my PlayStation Plus. You don't actually, but you. Maybe
Yeah, but
once you have.
Yeah, but it's on my PS3.
Yeah, I know.
It's your Netflix though,
Yep.
that's all the PS3 gets
Okay,
used for,
so-
pretty much.
So Pat's really excited. He's going to get to play Watch Dogs on my PS4.
That is pretty exciting.
If I can afford it, I'm going to go for the PS4. But yeah.
Yeah. I think eventually I'll buy a PS4 when Dunk moves out. He'll take it with him, unless I kill him or something. That's a possibility too.
Just make it
course.
look like an accident.
So in the next
I won't
calendar
tell
year, I'll
anybody.
kill Justin and take his PlayStation 4.
You might want to do editing on this one.
Don't worry, I got your back.
Yeah.
If somebody can bring me Sweet Release, I'll go for it.
So how about you, Brian?
Still kind of undecided at this point. I mean, if I had to lean towards one, it would be PS4, but it would probably be in 3 or 4 years or something like that, and I'll probably just stick with PC at this point.
Nintendo, if you release Metroid, I'll buy a Wii U.
Yeah, I second that. That would be the game
As
that
long
would
as it's
put me
not
over
Welcome to
M2.
other M2, buddy.
Never mind, not that, anything but that. That
Team
was
Ninja
disappointing.
presents.
Sorry to cut you off. That was disappointing with the Smash Bros. They said, "Oh hey, we changed Samus's armor to be more like other M."
Right,
It's like,
yeah.
No,
Why
Saw
would
that
I
they do
want to
that?
forget.
It seemed like they were just
It's
trying
not
to.
that different, though. It's,
Okay.
It's
I guess-
Samus. Like,
I guess the armor itself doesn't carry the sexism and misogyny of other him, so.
Not as bad.
Also,
All 4 minutes I made it through.
her titties aren't hanging out, so you're okay.
Oh,
if
We're not okay.
if a new Zelda game, not a Wind Waker HD remake, comes out, then I'm sure my wife will coerce me into getting a Wii U. But which that would be fine with me too. But,
yeah. They've said it's happening. Be a while. Yeah.
yeah, I figured so.
Remember that one time we waited 6 years between Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword?
Oh yeah, of course.
That was cool. Have a good reason to buy a Wii U. And Sonic Lost World is going to be on 3DS and Wii U. That's really tempting for me. But I just know Wii U's going to drop in price before long. It's selling so badly. Just month after month. Since January, it has done awful.
There just aren't any games for it. Like I said earlier, I think there are 4 games that I went for, and one of them is Earthbound on Virtual Console, so that doesn't even really count, because that's an old game.
Yeah.
I did some research back in May of all the disc-based games, not counting download stuff, even though most of that is Virtual Console. I think they have a few original WiiWare games on there, something like that. As of May, between January 2013 and May 2013, every game released on the Wii U was either a remake or a port, except for Lego City Undercover.
Yeah, see,
There was not a single original game released for the system, and there weren't very many.
and that was my biggest fear whenever they, started announcing games for it, because everything was just a port of something that had already been out for 6 months with some, gamepad functionality added into it, and that there was no appeal to that whatsoever.
Yeah, this fall you can play Deus Ex Human Revolution on it.
Good
The
to
flip
know.
side, though, the flip side, and what's really funny, is that they're designing that for the Wii U. Now it's going multi-platform, too. The
improved
Ultimate
version of Deus Ex.
Edition or whatever. Yeah, it's coming to everything. They delayed Rayman to put it on everything.
Yeah, Rayman was a finished game,
So
and they thought it would ruin their sales to put it on Wii U exclusive first.
it's just funny that all they were getting was ports. And then all the stuff that they're supposed to be getting that was original is now being ported to everything else at the same time.
It's a serious Dreamcast situation. Nintendo is lucky they're not already in the red like Sega was, because they can survive a Dreamcast, whereas Sega could not.
The Dreamcast actually had games you wanted to play, though.
That's true. Okay.
It's still like the reputation.
Yeah,
is the same,
yeah.
though.
That's not true at all, is it? It's a Dreamcast situation that people are putting the great Dreamcast exclusives on other systems, but Dreamcast had a lot of great exclusives in its 18 months.
Yeah, the exclusive didn't come out until later, like much later down the line for the other systems.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's just coming out at the same time on the other systems.
Okay,
as
so
it is.
I guess what I'm trying to say is when Wii U
It's gonna
was
die
birthed, it was already like an 18-month-old Dreamcast. Okay. Great. Glad that's out of the way.
Both the systems are white, so yeah, hey, that's right. You're good.
I didn't want to take it there.
There's a black Dreamcast. It's okay.
No, stop. Jesus Christ.
More editing to be done.
Yeah, I'm going to give them your home address so they can go and get fire and pitchforks.
It's your home address, too.
Yeah, well, I'll know it's coming. It's probably coming.
Duke Nukem
Duke
Forever.
Nukem.
Yes.
No. So, thanks for listening, whoever's listening. I'm looking at a microphone right now. It's not a human face, but have a good night.
Microphone, you didn't have a choice. You had to listen.
Microphone,
Suck
you don't
it.
judge me. Thank you.
We're gonna put on a show out there for everybody. Check this out. Somebody say ho! Ho! Say ho, 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 ho. Say ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Scream! And say ho! Ho! Say ho, 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 ho. Say ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. What you gonna do when they come?
I gotta redeem.
What you gonna do when they come?
I gotta believe.
What you gonna do when they come?
I gotta
You gotta
receive.
do what?
You gotta do what? I gotta believe.
Hey, yo, everybody, just check out the way I live, everybody.
Yo, everybody. It's time to break and go ahead to party.
Here comes the dude, and now he's running up and down the street with the Jews.
Sunny's my life, she's like a dice. I can't tell which way she turns till I strike.
Whatever trouble he's in, he just gets up and begins. It ain't no problem for the man.
But I would do it like that because